Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Google Made Easy. My name is Peter Moriarty and I'm excited to share what we have in store for you today. We are going to be running through how to get more out of Google Sheets. This is our intermediate episode on using Google Sheets to get more for your business. Now, a couple of quick ground rules before we get started. Number one, if you're at home and you've got your computer in front of you, we like to get super practical. So make sure you're ready to go, you're all charged up and you're nice and comfortable to get ready for some serious implementation. If not, make sure you're ready to take some really good notes and take down what we're going to be going through in this session. Next up, make sure you're connecting with myself and the rest of the Business Blueprint community on social media. Say hello on hashtag Google Made Easy or hashtag Business Blueprint and share your comments, your feedback, your questions with myself and the rest of the community on your social platform of choice. So let's go through what we're going to cover in today's episode. First up, how to work offline with Google Sheets. Google is obviously completely an online cloud-based platform, but there is a great way to work offline using Google Chrome, and we're going to run you through how that works for you and your business. Next up, how to use advanced formulas for your data. So we're going to show you how to go behind the scenes on some of the more tricky formulas with Google, and we're going to show off a couple of the cool examples that will help you to get even more out of your spreadsheets in your business. Next up, how to get started with pivot tables. Now, these are one of the favorites of Microsoft Excel, and we're going to show you how you can use pivot tables right in Google and have them automatically updating using live data with Google Sheets. Cool little feature there. Next up, how to create links between sheets. So this is how to link data between spreadsheets. Yes, you can still link data between sheets with Google, and the great thing is, because they're all cloud-based, all the data linking is live. Any changes that are made anywhere on the internet from any device automatically filter through into your sheet as well. Next up, how to create and send a mail merge. We're going to show you how to use Google Sheets data to send a mail merge to your contacts and get that sent off via Gmail. Next up, how to create visual maps from your spreadsheet data. So if you've got a spreadsheet which has got a bunch of different addresses, then we're going to show you how to get all of that data into your Google Sheets and visualize it using Google Maps. Really, really cool little tool to get that done. Next up, how to remove duplicate data from your spreadsheet. So if you've got some redundant data in there, we're going to show you how to remove those duplicates. Next, how to split name data from combined cells. So if you've got cells and you've got a big long database and all the names are in single cells, we're going to show you how to go ahead and split that up. And then finally, discovering your Google data using Google Insights. We're going to show you Google's new tool to discover insights about your data right from within Google Sheets. So let's get started. I'm super excited to share this with you, and we're going to be starting off with how to use Google Sheets offline. Now, we covered this in the basics of getting started with Google Sheets, and we've covered this before in Google Drive, but this is a really important one if you don't already have it set up. I want to run you through how to get started working offline with Google Sheets. Now, obviously, working online with any of your colleagues using any of the Google documents means that you are able to get work done in real time across different locations and also from any device. But what happens when you want to work together and one of you is offline temporarily? Maybe you're catching a flight or you're in another location where for some reason there isn't any internet. It's important for you to still be able to get work done, but also with these collaborative tools that you can share the work that you're doing instantly with your team members. Well, maybe not instantly, but at the right time after you connect back up to the internet. Now, Google's got a great feature built right into Chrome, which is offline editing for any of your Google documents. And what that will allow you to do is to get work done offline. And as soon as any of those changes are made, they're saved to your local computer. Now, once you connect back up to the internet, all of those changes will be pushed back online and you'll be able to keep working on your documents. And because of Google's very intelligent revision history, yourself and your colleagues will be able to see both of the changes that you've made. Now, what happens if two people change one cell? Well, Google's got a way of dealing with that. Number one, Google always tracks and saves every single change to every single document. So don't fear if your cell's been overwritten or someone's changed your work. Google will always have a copy of every single change tracked right in the document. Number two, Google will take the the newest change to a document. So if you're the latest person to change that particular piece of data, your change is going to overwrite the other person who changed that cell. So keep in mind that if you're collaborating with somebody else and they have editing access to the Google spreadsheet, then they do have potentially the ability to change or update your work. One of the great things about Google Sheets is because of the revision history, we can always undo that work and we can see who's changed what at what time. So let's jump into how you can work offline using Google Sheets and what that looks like working away on your document. So you can see here that right now I'm in my Google Drive, and to change our offline settings, all we need to do is first click on the settings wheel and then the settings menu. And there from the settings menu, you'll see here down the bottom, it's about halfway down, there's the offline button. And what the offline button allows us to do is to choose whether or not we want to synchronize documents down to our local desktop. So make sure you've switched that on, and if that option isn't available, you might need to check with your Google Apps Administrator to have them enable offline working for your domain. So let's go ahead and we'll click Done. And you can see here that we've got an untitled spreadsheet. We've got some sample data in there, and I'm going to go ahead and make some changes. Now, you can see here that instantly Google is saving and then saved all of the changes there, and they're all happening in real time. So it's instantly saving all of those changes. But what happens if we're not connected to the internet? Let's go ahead and switch off our Wi-Fi, and let's see what happens when we're disconnected. Now, you'll see here that there's a little icon that pops up to let us know that we're offline, but I can still make any changes that I need to the document, and all of these changes are going to be saved offline. Now, you can see here again, it says saving, and then all changes saved offline. And what Google's going to do is it's going to retain all of those changes in your Google Chrome browser, and then as soon as you connect back up to the internet, it'll beam all of those back up to Google. But you might be worried, well, what happens, Peter, if my browser crashes or if my computer runs out of battery? What's going to happen to this document? Is something bad going to happen? Don't fear. Thankfully, Google is saving all of those changes to Chrome to cold storage, which means that if your laptop runs out of battery, if you restart it, if you close Chrome or it crashes somehow, all of those changes are saved to a local file on your computer, and then as soon as you connect, it's able to send all of those right back up to Google. Nice and easy to do, and you're well protected with your documents. So now we've worked out how to work offline, and we can see all of the ways that Google allows us to get work done when we don't have the internet. Let's get into some of the more advanced options of Google Sheets and how we can work with them to get more out of our spreadsheet data. So let's first talk about using advanced formulas in Google Sheets. Now, you've already may have already started with some of the basics, using the sum command and maybe using an asterisk to multiply different equations or different cells. Let's go into some of the more advanced features and functionality of Google Sheets. Now, one of my favorites is the ability to bring in real-time data from Google Finance. What Google allows us to do is bring in real-time data such as exchange rates or stock prices right into our spreadsheet, and that allows us to make calculations based on nearly real-time data. Now, this data only comes in with a delay of up to 20 minutes on real-time, so it's not true real-time data, but up to 30 minutes is pretty damn good and pretty close. So we're going to be able to show you how you can get that data straight into your spreadsheet with one simple command. So I'm going to go ahead and use one of my cells here, type in the equal sign, and let's start typing up our function. Now, the function is actually Google Finance. So I'm going to start typing Google Finance in here, and you can see that Google is automatically going to bring up a suggestion for the function that I might be interested in typing. If I'm typing, let's say, for example, S, you can see here there's slope, there's sort, there's skew, there's all kinds of different statistics and calculus and geometric equations that you can use right here in your Google Sheets. Now, I don't know how all of those work, but if there's any particular equations that you need, then you can be sure that you're going to find them right here in Google Sheets. But the one we're after right now is Google Finance. So, let's start with Google Finance, and we'll go ahead and add Google Finance in there. Now, I know that the command for translating, let's say, for example, USD to AUD is to put in the exchange there in quotation marks, and I'm going to go ahead and hit the return key. And this is going to pull that Google Finance information straight in from the internet. Oops, but I've made a silly mistake here. I'm still offline. Let's go ahead and connect back up to the internet. It's probably going to need that to download its data, and let's let it download once we've connected back up to our Wi-Fi connection. So you can see here that Google has accepted and it saved the change offline, but it hasn't quite pulled in the data yet. So as soon as Google connects back up to the internet, it's going to be able to pull in that data. So there we go. The exchange rate has been brought in. Lucky you, US dollars are looking great against the Australian dollars. So there we go. We've got the real-time exchange rate brought right into our spreadsheet. Now, we can obviously use that as a number to calculate any of our other calculations, any of our budgets, any of our forecasts, and use that right into our spreadsheet so that data is bringing nearly real-time data right into any one of our calculations. Now, you can use that, as I said earlier, for stocks, for exchange rates, all kinds of things, and check out the Google Help Guide on all the different commands that you can use. Now, what if we want to do even more with our formulas? Google has a great place which shows you all of the different formulas that you can use in your Google Sheet, and that one place is the Google Help Guide. Now, I want to show you where you can get access to that and how you can get started seeing all of the formulas that Google has to offer for you to use for your business. So that's as easy as us heading along to our Help Guide and then going to Functions List. So opening up the Functions List brings us to the Google Help article, and that shows us all of the different functions that are available for Google. And you can see there, I think there's probably close to, if not more than 1,000 functions. There's just a crazy amount of functions and options there for you. Now, we can use a search to get access to all of those easily. So if I wanted to search for something like an average, you can see here we've got different averages. We've even got some different statistical ones and different methods of performing averages based on different statistical analysis. So there's lots of options there. You can go ahead and even change by different group or different discipline to give you access to all of the different functions and formulas that you need. So that's how we use advanced functions and advanced formulas in Google Sheets. Let's move on to another great feature of spreadsheets, and that is pivot tables. Now, pivot tables are a way for you to take large amounts of data and make more sense of them. Whether you want to group certain elements of data or see if you've got a long list of data to find the average or find different areas that maybe make sense once you've done a bit of data analysis. What pivot tables will allow you to do is nicely organize and group your data to help you get better insights yourself. So I'm going to show you how to set up a basic pivot table and show you the basics of what those can do. So let's go ahead back.
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.